You are now tuned in to Wildcat One Television.
Hey. Hello there, I'm in the dark. Alright, so today, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try and give you basically, ma'am, thanks. Wasted 5 seconds of our internet video, darn it. Alright, so I apologize for her. What we're going to do today is sort of an introduction to Photoshop. What I want you to do is to make some profile pictures, and you notice how every time that it's me on the camera, I have to touch my nose?
You can't see up there.
Oh. Okay. Well, you'll be able to see the actual screen part, but doesn't bother you, that's fine. Alright, so now I've wasted about 20 seconds of the actual. Okay, so Photoshop, I want us to make some profile pictures, but I don't want your profile pictures to be actually of you. I want them to be of you as someone else. Some of my favorites, and I'm going to go ahead and go to the screen now. Alright, so you can still hear me, but you don't have to look at my face. So, some of my favorites that I've done before, or I guess that Ryan might have done for me before. Well, they're right here. Alright, my Alicia Keys. Me if I were Alicia Keys. Yes, it's a good look, I know. But, so it's a picture that I could use as an avatar, but it's not really me. See, me as is that me as an astronaut? Yep, there's me if I were an astronaut. And that's basically what I'm gonna have for you today. I've got 3 different layers. I've got a background picture, I've got my head, and then I've got a layer on top. Your layer on top could be hair, or it could be a shield like this, or it could be a helmet from a motorcycle, or it could be something like that too. It can't just be you, because that's the point. Is I want you to have at least 3 layers. And your Final Cut Pro videos, you had 4 layers, but this I want you to have at least 3 layers, and we're going to color correct them too to try to make them the same color as something else. So you can be a different skin tone if you'd like to be. Here's me if I were Bob Marley. And yes, my teeth are super, super white. Not really, but in that picture they are. So that's kind of what I'm wanting for you today. And this is the same thing right here. You can tell that I had to put this hat on top of my face too. So I'm just wanting those 3 layers. So the first thing that we're going to do is to pick a picture that we want to use. Yeah, that's what you can. So I'm going to look up a picture of a fireman, and I don't want the Lil Wayne CD. But, well, I'm already clicked on it. What I was going to say is whenever you click on fireman, yeah, well, I know not all your pictures are going to be, and this is with Safe Search on strict also. So you're going to have some pictures that maybe aren't the most appropriate, but you shouldn't have anything that's too inappropriate. Well, that's actually sort of an example. This one is 850 pixels by 1156 pixels. These are good pictures. Now, I've already clicked on large. Whenever you just click on fireman, you're going to have pictures like this come up, 325 by 400 pixels. Those are tiny. We want to work with as good, high quality as possible, so we want all of our pictures to be the highest resolution possible. So whenever you search for a picture, always click on large, is what I'm saying, Joe. What did I miss? Alright. So this one is 400 by 600. Not good. All these little icon ones here, 350 by 13. I want to get as big a pictures as possible, so click on large anytime you search for pictures. You're going to be blocked from an awful lot of pictures because those pictures are actually on web pages that are probably not appropriate. So you might be able to see these pictures, a lot of these here, but you won't actually be able to click all the way on them. So if I want to be this guy, all right, 1024 by 1007, that's a good quality picture. If I click on it and then go all the way to full size image is what I want to do. This is the biggest this is a big picture. Now if I'm back on that page and I just drag it to the desktop. If I'm back on this page and I see that picture and I just drag it right here, even though this says 1024 by 1007, you can see this is how big the picture is. It's tiny. So you always have to click on all the way to the full size image and then save it. You can either right click and save it to your downloads, or you can save the image as. I just drag them off the desktop. That's that's easy. Drag them off to the desktop. Ryan probably is more organized than me and probably puts them into lots of subfolders and has it very organized, and his desktop doesn't look like this, like mine, with stuff all over the place. So that's probably a good idea. But make sure you get a very large picture. So I'm going to do this fireman. And I'm going to right click on it and open it with Photoshop. So I've already gone all the way to the large picture and drug it off to the desktop. And I've always wanted to have a super thick mustache. So I want to have a mustache like this guy right here. So going for this. So I'm going to put my face on top of this, and I'm going to take this helmet and put it on top of my face. I could just erase, I think Ryan likes to do that, just erase my face right here and have the helmet be on top. But I actually want to work with layers today and cut this out again and put it back on top to a new one. So now I can open Photo Booth to take the picture of me. I wanted to get the background picture first so that I know which direction I need to be looking. This is not going to happen to you. This happens to me because I'm using the camera for the Ustream broadcast right now, so I can't use it for two different things. But luckily enough, I think my picture is just straight on, so all I need to do is pick a picture that's straight on. And I already have, and I've taken it in Photo Booth and drug it off to the desktop. These, once you get them right here, you can just drag it off to the desktop, and it's going to be the actual size. It's going to be a good, high-quality picture. One more thing, when you're taking the picture, you want it to be, you want your face to be as big as possible. So you're actually going to kind of lean up into the camera a little bit. Get as close as you can because you want your picture to be, again, as many pixels as possible, highest resolution possible. So I've drugged that off to the desktop, and this is it right here. I'm going to open it with Photoshop. Right-click, open with Photoshop. Photoshop's up to Creative Suite 5 right now, but we're only using CS3, which is okay because it's all the same tools. It's just the tools have gotten a little bit cooler in CS3. First tool we're going to click on over here is Quick Select tool. All these top tools select. Rectangular, if you hold these down, you get more. Elliptical, single row marquee, and single column marquee. The lasso, I've got magnetic lasso, polygonal lasso, and a regular lasso. My favorite, and hopefully yours for a while, will be Quick Selection tool. Magic Wand's also good, but those are all selection tools. If I come up to the top here, you can see I've got a plus and minus. That means I can select stuff and I can sort of deselect those things that I don't want. So on my picture here, I'm going to go ahead and select my face. Now hopefully I will select a little bit extra so that, well, I haven't. I've gotten, okay, that looks pretty good. Well, it's a picture of me, but I'll say it looks pretty good. So I'm going to accidentally get a little bit extra, like my chin down here. I didn't want to get my chin. If I hold down the Alt button or come up here and click on the negative, that will undo. But it's easier for me to just hold down the Alt button, and you can see how it changes to a negative, and then just click right there. And I'm going to leave that little bit of extra right there because you're probably not going to be selecting perfectly on yours. So I'm going to go and erase that whenever I put it on my actual picture. So now I'm going to go to the move tool. I always say drag or select tool. But click on this one, and this is going to allow me to move this from picture to picture. So I'm going to take my face, and I'm going to drag it onto the other picture that I have in the background. I'm going to zoom back out so you can see that. Wow, I was actually fairly close to the same size. I'm a little bit bigger. So I'm going to move that back on top. And one of the problems well, it didn't actually do it. But one of the problems that you're going to have with Photoshop, or the biggest problem, issue I think that you'll have with it, I'm still too big, aren't I? Good enough for right now, is this. You're going to think that you've done something and be ready to move on, and you will not have checked it. You have to check to transform the image. Now, I can also rotate right here, and you saw me resize. I can do those things. I'm going to go ahead and click on the check to show you. I can do those things because I have this button turned on, Show Transform Tools. If you don't have that, you won't see these edges, and you won't be able to make it bigger or smaller, and you won't be able to rotate it the way that you want it to be rotated. So do that, and since I rotated it again just then, I have to check it again. So I've got that. I'm going to say that that's okay, even though there's a lot wrong with it. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and erase the part that I told you I was going to erase. Just so I can work on the background in a minute, I'm going to show you that I want to double-click on the background to unlock it. There's a lot of other ways I could unlock it too, but I'm just going to double-click it and say OK. So now it doesn't have that lock. And I'm going to turn the background off so that if I zoom in to my picture of me, we'll hopefully be able to see some of this junk that I had that I wanted to get rid of. So now I'm going to go to the eraser tool, which looks like an eraser, a very old school eraser. And it's saying, no, I can't do that. And that makes me kind of wonder why. Because I'm not on that layer. So I want to be on that layer for me. So I click on that layer for me, and now I can erase, and I can take some of this beard off here. You can zoom in an awful lot. The best quality pictures are going to be really zoomed in. So right here, you can see I'm pretty far. I can go to where I can see basically each pixel. I can go straight up my nose there. I'm not giving myself a Rudolph nose. But I can go way down in there and see each individual pixel. The bigger you get, and that's the reason that we have these gigantic screens. is so you can use it. Go in as much as possible. Don't be lazy like Ryan sometimes is and wants to do it from really far away and just say, okay, that's fine, nobody will notice. If people end up zooming, if somebody looks at your picture and actually zooms into your picture, then they will notice. And just assume that you're making your picture so awesome that people really want to zoom in to see, hey, is that really you, or is that an astronaut, or is that somebody else? So I'm going to go ahead and I've erased just a tiny bit, but you can get pretty specific with it. You can change your opacity so that it doesn't erase everything completely. It sort of makes it see-through more and more and more. And just in case you accidentally do stuff like that, and now you can see straight through my eye. That's not good. So so if I turn, well, you want to have my eyes see-through and try to make my eyes be the same as the actual guy behind the actual firefighter. Okay, this is a bad idea, but why not? This is just a really bad idea. All right, so I'm going to zoom that out, and I'm going to turn back on the layer. And that would almost be impossible to get that perfect. What I'm going to do now is just turn off my layer, and I'm going to grab the guy's helmet.
Because his eyes are shut, dude.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not really a bad idea. So I'm going to see through my eyes to his eyelids. You'll see his eyelids and through my eyes. So I'm going to go to the firefighter now, and you can I'm going to make a new layer this way. You can go down here to the very bottom. Can you see this? And since I hovered there, it says create new layer, but you can't see it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and it made me a new layer. And that's this layer right here, layer 2. And it's see-through also. I didn't tell you that checkerboard means that it's transparent background. That's an important thing to know. Trying to make sure I tell you the important stuff. So now I'm going to use the quick selects tool and try to just get the helmet. And I'm about to say, and it's not selecting easily for me because I'm on the wrong layer. Thank you for that. So now it should select very easily. I'm not worried about what I get outside over here. I can get extra stuff over here because I'm just trying to cover my face up. So I don't need to be really picky about just getting the helmet, like just this line right here. In fact, even that part's okay. I just want to try not to get too much of his face like what I just did. So Alt again to try and undo as much of that as possible. And again, I can just go and erase later over it, but you can only erase so smoothly.
I think you want the dark areas.
Why don't I just go ahead and get all that, huh? Let me get all this here, and then I'm going to erase the face over. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So now I can say cut this. I can say edit and copy. I don't want to cut because that would actually cut it out. And then I could go on to layer 2. Just click on layer 2 and say edit paste. And now it's also there on layer 2. I'm going to turn off the background layer 0, so you can see that it's there. And I got a lot of extra junk. Again, you can see that too. And a lot of times you'll see stray lines down here of extra junk that you get that you need to erase. And it might be kind of hard to see. So I'm going to turn back on my layer 1 also, just to show you that my layer 2 is not on top of my layer 1. So I actually have to do that. I have to drag layer 2 on top of layer 1. And there's my helmet on top now of my face. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the background too. So I'm getting a little closer, although this is fairly creepy looking. I want to make sure that I go to layer 2, and I'm going to go zoom in and erase a lot of this junk right here. So on the eraser, you have a few different ones. You got regular eraser, background eraser, and magic eraser. Magic eraser is kind of like the magic wand. It's going to pick the stuff that's the same color. So I could use that, and it should pick it picked all that stuff that was close to the same color. But you saw it got a lot of the helmet too. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to say edit undo, which is Command Z, which is going to be a great tool for you also. Very important thing to know. Command Z, edit undo. So I want regular eraser, and then I'm going to erase this, and you should be able to see my skin tone underneath instead of that guy's, because my head is actually underneath where that helmet is. So that's as much of a start as I really want you to get to today. I want you to try and figure out what you want to be, take your picture, and then just try and get your layers right. Tomorrow we're going to mess with hopefully won't have those eyes anymore. I will have fixed that. All right, ready, set, go. All right, well, I'm going to stop this. Thanks for watching, people who were watching. Bye-bye. All right, there I am. Bye-bye. All right, cool. Thanks.